All right, everybody. We are live and I am so excited tonight because it is all about sports nicknames. We're going to be going over some of the best nicknames, and I'm going to be putting up nicknames, and I want you to guess the player. I'm going to be putting up pictures of players, and I want you to guess their name and their nickname. So there's no money on this. There's no prizes to be awarded. It's all for fun. If you have any nicknames or you want to test me or test the group, put your nickname up or put your player's name up and ask us what his or her nickname was. That would be fantastic. We are going to start here shortly. It's all about nicknames tonight. Now, Thursday night, we will be having a show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, 7 Central. That's Thursday night. Maybe I'll start starting the shows. I'll begin starting the shows a little bit later so that way I can get some people involved. I have a feeling that sometimes it's easier to start just a little bit past the hour like it is now. It's almost 18 past 7 here in the central time zone of America. But we are going to be going over nicknames tonight, like I said. And you can see a nickname up on the screen. And so you're going to tell me in the chat who you think it is. Or if you're watching this after the fact, you're going to guess who that player is up on the screen. All right. So do we have any guesses who Black Mamba really is? And I'll give you just a few seconds here to guess. If you're shy, don't worry about it. I will not make fun of any answers. If you think you know who it is, put it in the chat. That would be fantastic. But I'll give you a few more seconds. Hopefully we'll get some other folks to join. And we do have a show on Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. All right. So I'll give you about 3 seconds to guess this one. It's somewhat easy if you follow basketball. Black Mamba is Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant, his nickname is the Black Mamba. Now, this is the first part of the show. Second part of the show, I'm going to show you photos, and you can guess the name and the nickname of those players. Now, here's the next nickname, very famous nickname, not recent, probably 90 years ago. No, there's 2 people watching your neighborhood troller. There's 2 people. So if you know the name, the athlete's name that I have up on the screen, you can put it in the chat and be right or be wrong, or we're just doing it kind of for fun. It's kind of a, can you name the nicknames? And if you guys, anybody watching, has a nickname that you like, or you want to test me, or you want to test everyone who's watching, you can do that too. You can say, who's the nickname of blah, blah, blah. But we're taking the first person to get right, the Sultan of SWAT. Who was really the Sultan of SWAT? What is their real name? That's the nickname. What was the name? The Babe. You got that right. Good job. You are neighborhood troller. You got that right. All right, let's go to the next name. Now, the second part of the show, I'll be showing pictures, and I want you to guess the athlete and their nickname or one of their top nicknames. All right. Who's known? This is a current player who's known as King James. And I think there's 5 people on right now. I think probably one person knows it. If you know it, put it in the chat. All right, Bronny Dad, you got that right. Yes, LeBron James is King James, and he's pretty much had that nickname since day one in the NBA. His shoes even sort of have, well, not sort of, they have crowns on them, and they have things like that going into. All right, this one might be a little tougher. This is a basketball player, but it's a basketball player from the 80s, maybe early 90s. And I'll even give you a hint. This basketball player, who's known as the human highlight reel, played for the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks. Does anybody have any idea who this might be? And if you do, put it in the chat, and we'll see if you're right. Now, you are neighborhood has been getting these right. He got the Babe right. He got LeBron James right. Oh, yep. He knows his sports. It's Dominique Wilkins was called the human highlight reel, basically for his dunks and the way he played on the court. He was just always in the air, and he was just a lot of fun, a lot of drama with a lot of his play. I had a big poster of him when I was growing up, so a lot of fun. All right, next we move to hockey. Just randomly picking sports here. Who was known as the Dominator? And as I said, my hint is this is a hockey, and I'll even tell you it's a hockey goalie who went by the nickname the Dominator. And like I said, in the second part of this, yes, well, Dom who? Yeah, Dom, who you going for? You keep saying Dom. You're winking a little bit. All right. Do you know who it is, your neighborhood troller? All right, I'll give everybody a little bit. There's a few people on the line. It's Dominic Hasek or Hasek. Hazel. Well, close enough. Hasek. There you go. Dom Hasek. All right. All right. We only have a few more of these left. I know they're not that sexy because it's just words on the screen. But does anybody know whose nickname was the Bus? And for this one, I'll give you another hint. This person was a football player. He was a running back. He played for the Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Any ideas on the nickname of the player called the Bus? And as I keep saying, we will be showing photos of players shortly, and then you'll be guessing who the player is and who their nickname was, or is rather. So does anybody have any idea on the Bus? He was a running back, NFL. He played for the Rams. Jerome Bettis, yes. Your neighborhood troller is getting these all right. All right. Next nickname is Charlie Hustle. This one's a little bit older. This was a person this is a baseball player reference. He was an infielder, outfielder, and manager. He was brought up with the Cincinnati Reds. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies, the Montreal Expos, and back with the Cincinnati Reds. He played in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and he was a player manager in the 80s as well. Does anybody have an idea on who this might be? And I have a feeling your neighborhood troller might get this before everybody else. So if anybody else is on the line who's not your neighborhood troller and knows it, put it in the chat. Let's try to get this one. But I have a feeling your neighborhood troller is going to get this. Who was known as Charlie Hustle? Yes, neighborhood troller is I like the way he answers because he almost answers in a question. He answered the gambling man. That's kind of a hint. Does anybody out there know who the gambler was in the 80s who's no longer in baseball because of his gambling? And I know your neighborhood troller knows it, but I'm trying to see if anybody else has a guess. If you have a guess, put it in the chat. He's banned from baseball. Yes, he's banned. He has the most hits in all of baseball, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. He signs a lot of autographs, I believe, in Las Vegas. Okay, well, no one's coming forward except for your neighborhood troller, and he's putting up some really, really good hints. But it is none other than Pete Rose. Pete Rose was Charlie Hustle. All right, this is the last one. Maybe obscure if you're not like a Yankees fan, but who was known as the Yankee Clipper? And this goes back to like the 50s. So I know some of these went back a little bit farther. Next up, though, I will be showing you photos of the players where you guess the player, and then you'll guess their nicknames as well. Now, if anybody else has any nicknames, you can test us, your neighborhood troller. If you have a nickname you like or a player you want to talk about, we can do that. All right. Ryan Sampson, you got it right. Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper. Great job. All right. Let me now, bear with me real quick, everybody, because I'm going to have to change screens. Joe DiMaggio, good job. Okay, let's go here. And if you like what I'm doing, please crush that like button, as all the kids say. And if you really like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. That would go a long way. All right. Now, hey, Nathaniel, Why are you on Ron Sampson's? Oh, you're using a different phone. All right, Nathaniel's here. Nathaniel, I had a show on Sunday. You missed it. I was upset. It was another guess the player, but I missed you. All right. All right. So got to go, but I subbed. All right. Your neighborhood troller. Can anyone guess who this player is and what his famous nickname was? Now, I'll take several different nicknames, but which one is this big one? Nathaniel, I'm starting Sundays now at 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. your time. I'm doing Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I'm going to try that out for a while. I might go back to more shows. I might go back to less, but I really like the Sunday night a lot. So, all right. Does anybody have a clue who the player is? Hopefully you can see it. I tried to make it as big as I could. Who the player is and what their nickname is. All right. Nathaniel's back. All right. I miss you, Nathaniel, on Sunday. I was worried. Then I started really late and you weren't on, and I was like, uh-oh. Any ideas on the player here? Any ideas on what his nickname is? We can do part 3 sometime next week. Yes. You mean on guess the player? Is that what you're talking about, Nathaniel? Can we do part 3 sometime next week? What do you mean? All right. Okay. So for anybody that just joined, what we're doing is I'm asking to name the player and name his nickname. All right. Yeah, guess the player. We'll do guess the player on Sunday night just for you, Nathaniel. Okay. The player is, I'll just put this out there since no one guessed, and maybe Nathaniel knows. Yes, guess the player. We'll do that on Sunday night. But the player here tonight is Frank Thomas. And does anybody know Frank Thomas's number 1 nickname? All right. It starts with the. It's one of these the blah blah. It's the and 2 words. And I'll even give you the second one. It's the big. It's not the big unit. That's Randy Johnson. It's Frank Thomas, Nathaniel. Frank Thomas's nickname was the Big Hurt. The Big Hurt. Okay. So we're going to go. Wait, I did this too quick. Hold on 1 second, everybody. All right. Does anybody have an idea who this might be? It's a football player, played for the Chicago Bears, won the Super Bowl, was a running back, very famous. I'm hoping somebody's from Chicago. It doesn't seem like it is. All right, I'm going to give you guys about 3 seconds. There are some younger people, some younger players in here, but this is number 34, Chicago Bears running back in the 70s and 80s. I'll go backwards. His nickname was Sweetness. Does anybody know who the player is? Okay, Nathaniel's saying Sweetness. Good. Now, who's the player? Who's the player, though? Sweetness is the nickname, but what's the player's name? Anybody got an idea? I'll even say, let's say, like I said, he won a Super Bowl. He led the league, I believe, many seasons in rushing. He was poetry in motion when he ran. So Walter Payton, you got that right. Ron Sampson. Wait. It's the Walter Payton Award. All right. This guy played in the NBA more recently. Any ideas on him? Who he is, what his nickname is? And I have to tell you the truth, his nickname is a little tougher than normal for me, but who's the player and what was his nickname? He played many seasons with the Celtics. He also played for the Clippers at some point. He won a world championship with the Celtics. He played with Rajon Rondo and the shooter guy. Come on, everyone. And hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Ron Sampson is 100% right. Okay. Does anybody know who this player is? I'll give you a hint. His nickname was the Truth. His nickname. This is a little bit harder one, but I was hoping maybe since he's a little bit more recent of a player, his nickname is the Truth. Can anybody tell me who the player is in the photo right above my head? Right above my head, right there. Who is that player? His nickname was the Truth. All right. Well, since no one is saying, I will say it is Paul Pierce. It's Paul Pierce was the player. Okay, next. Can I get to it? Oh boy. Now, Nathaniel, you should know this one. You're up in New York. But no, you should know this one about the baseball player. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm in sync yet or not. Okay, the baseball player above me. What's his nickname? He has a great, one of the best nicknames ever. And who is the player? Now, Nathaniel, come on. Yes. Undisputed WWE champion, The Rock got it. Reggie Jackson. Now, can you tell me what his famous nickname was? If you know it's Reggie, you almost exactly know Mr. October. Well, me, October. Yes. I'll put up this one right here. Reggie Jackson was the player, and Mr. October is the nickname. All right. All right. Good job, everybody. This guy, another basketball player. I know Nathaniel or Ron, you don't know that much. You're not that good at basketball, but this player here has a famous nickname, and the photo gives it away because he's playing with ice. And I'll even tell you the player's name. It's George Gervin, who played for the San Antonio Spurs. He actually played with Dr. J on the Virginia Squires. I believe it was Virginia Squires. But he played mostly with San Antonio, and he ice is in his nickname. It's George Gervin, and his nickname is, does anybody, the Iceman. Good job, Nathaniel. Good job. Way to go. Way to go. All right. Okay, I'm just going to go in order. This guy's a little more recent. Well, he's more recent than the Iceman. Does anybody know who this guy is? He just had a statue outside of Philadelphia's arena. I know it's another basketball player. He just had a statue. He retired not too long ago. He played in the early 2000s. I'll even tell you, his nickname is a little bit tougher. His nickname was The Answer. The Answer. Does anybody know the player for who was called The Answer? Anybody? The Undisputed? Or you? Allen Iverson. Good job, Nathaniel. You got that right. Way to go. Way to go. All right. Now this one should be fairly easy. Hello, Music Man 47100. All right. AI, you got that right. All right. This one should be super easy. I mean, he's in the news now all the time. Who's the player? Although I should have blacked out his jersey. All right. 76 fan and some Knicks. Okay, cool. All right. Who's the player and what's his nickname? And I want his full nickname, not what he is now. Neon Dion. Okay, that's good. Neon Dion is one of them. I was thinking, there you go, Music Man. Prime Time. That was the one I have written down. But Neon Dion was another one. He's now known as Coach Prime. So there's a lot of things I was looking for. Well, Neon Dion works and Prime Time works as well. All right. Now, this one I think is going to stump a lot of people, and I apologize in advance, but maybe Nathaniel, I just wanted to throw out something a little bit different, okay? Just something a little bit different. Maybe there's a NASCAR fan. I didn't think there would be, but let's just see if anybody knows who this is. It's a famous NASCAR person. He actually died while he was racing. His son was a racer in NASCAR as well, and his son has the same name as he does. So maybe I'll just say that his nickname is the Intimidator. Anybody have a guess on who the Intimidator might be? Who the Intimidator might be? He was a NASCAR guy. You're asking your family. Good job. The Intimidator in NASCAR. He died while he was racing. Avid NASCAR watchers. Okay. Anybody know who the Intimidator was? All right. I'm going to give you 3 seconds here. 3. Dale Earnhardt. Yes, this is Dale Earnhardt Sr. His son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., is also a racer. Okay. Now, this next one I'm hoping you guys get. I'd like to think it's fairly easy. He did recently pass away within the last, I think, year, maybe 2. He's, depending upon who you talk to, he's still the home run king, or he used to be the home run king. He had 755 home runs. Just put it in, I think. I'm not sure what you're getting at, Nathaniel. Does anybody who's watching know who this player is and what his nickname was? Skating Hank. Pretty close. He wasn't a hockey player, though. Pretty close with the Hank. You got the Hank part right. I think that's kind of a dead slamming Hank. Pretty close. But he was known as Hammer and Hank. Hammer and Hank Aaron. Hammer and Hank Aaron. But pretty good, Music Man. Not bad. Again, if you're watching right now and you like any of this, hit that like button, smash it, hit it, whatever you can do. And also subscribe. I'd love to get you guys to subscribe. We now have shows scheduled on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, starting at just probably about 8:15. I'm going to start 8:15 Eastern time. Okay, this next guy I actually mentioned earlier, but I know a lot of different people are on the line. Anybody have an idea on who this is and what his nickname was? Now, he retired probably 10 years ago. Big lefty with Arizona. He started actually with the Expos. Wild Thing, yes. One of his nicknames was Wild Thing. Anybody else? Now, he, like Frank Thomas, share two of the three words in their nicknames. Okay. They both are the big. And Frank Thomas was the Big Hurt with the White Sox. This is Randy Johnson. He's the big what? Does anybody have an idea? Wild Thing I'll go with as well. That's one we can say, but does anybody also know Randy Johnson's other nickname that starts with the big? Okay, well, I don't want to keep everybody on pins and needles. I'll just say it's the Big Unit. The Big Unit. That was Randy Johnson. All right. This guy here, do you know who it is? Do you know what his nickname? Yes, he did pitch for the Yankees for a while. You're 100% right. The Big Unit. Okay. Does anybody know who this is? Hockey player, and what his nickname is? Another great nickname. Another fantastic nickname. So if you know the nickname, if you know the player's name, put it in the chat. Let's see what it's like. There are really no right or wrong answers. We're not going to make fun of you if you put something up. The Music Man has gotten some right. He's come close with Slammin' Hank for Hank Aaron. But do we know who the hockey player is? And do we know what his nickname is? Wayne Gretzky, you got that right. Now, what's his nickname? What's his really famous nickname, if you will? Like when you say Wayne Gretzky and you say these three words that I'm thinking of, what are they? Everyone says Wayne Gretzky, and then two words after that. What is his big famous nickname? What's the big famous nickname for Wayne Gretzky? Okay, it is, well, the GOAT. That's, hey, Nathaniel, that's good. It's sort of the GOAT. But it's the great one. Wayne Gretzky, the great one. That's just pretty much what he's always been called. Okay. Now, Nathaniel, I don't know, you might have a tough one with this. Yeah, the great one. That's just what they called him. Because he was so good. His stats were so crazy good. Okay, this guy, yeah, the best. He was the best ever in hockey. Yes, Music Man, perfect. You got to subscribe too. We got to get you coming to more of these too, Music Man. Coming to these, liking these, all that good stuff. Does anybody have an idea on this player? He only played with the Spurs. It is not Tim Duncan, but it's a center. He also played on the 92 Olympic basketball team. He was in the Navy. And his nickname kind of comes from like being in the Navy, or what you would think of as a high ranking official in the Navy. So I'll give you those hints. I'll give you the name, or I'll give you the nickname. Which one do you want? Do you want his name or his nickname? The Admiral. You got it. Music Man. What's his name? Music Man. Do you know? Anybody? The Admiral. That's his nickname. What's his name? I'll just say it, since you got the Admiral right. That's good enough for me. It's David Robinson. David Robinson. All right. Okay. Some of these. Okay. Here's another guy, played in the 80s and 90s, won back-to-back championships in the 90s. I think he started out as a soccer player, actually. He was a center with the Houston Rockets. Thank you, Nathaniel. I appreciate it. I will keep it up, definitely. And from now on, I'm Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and I'll try to start like at 8:15 Eastern time. Okay. Does anybody have an idea on, oh, you like the background too? Yeah, it's Busch Stadium, actually. So, okay. Does anybody have an idea on who this center is? I know I tried to, you know what? Elijah. Close. Close. Well, I know what you're saying. You're going for his last name, Olajuwon. It's Hakeem Olajuwon. Does anybody have an idea as to what his nickname is? And we only have a few more left here. Some of them are kind of recent. Musician, can you drop a like? Oh yeah, musician, can you drop a like? Okay. Musician, can you drop a like? That's what me and Nathaniel are asking. That would be great, Music Man, if you can. This is okay. His name is Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. So the Dream is what we are looking for. Now this one here, I think Nathaniel, I think you said you're a Sixers fan. So this is like asking who's Babe Ruth, as far as I'm concerned. Nathaniel, this one should be easy for you. Or, I mean, I don't know. Anybody who follows basketball, I would think they would have seen this person once in a while. He played in the late 60s, 70s, 80s. He played a lot for the ABA. He was known in the NBA for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's fantastic. He was Air Jordan before Air Jordan, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he was the one that started the whole slam dunk from the free throw line. It is, come on, guys. I know somebody knows it out here. I know we don't have as many people on the line as we once did, but what's the name of the player and what's the nick? Dr. J. Boom. You got it, Music Man. Great job. It is none other than Julius Erving. All right. This one I hope you guys get too. Oh, well, he doesn't show up so well because of the background, but look who he is. He's pretty famous. He probably retired within the last 5 or 6 years. I want to say maybe it's been longer. His dad played in the major leagues. His dad played for Cincinnati. He played for Seattle and Cincinnati. He's a junior. He actually played in the outfield with his dad, ironically, or interestingly. And when he was a rookie in the outfield, he was playing center field. His dad was playing left field. It's not Barry Bonds, but good guess, Music Man, because I know that it's kind of hard to see. He is a lefty. It's not Cal Ripken, Nathaniel. You try to, if you're on a phone, pinch it. Maybe you can make it bigger. He's a lefty. He played for Cincinnati. He started with Seattle. His dad played in the major leagues. Junior, yes, it is Ken Griffey Jr. Real quick story on that I was getting to. Wait, who did I just? Yes, what happened, you're exactly right, Nathaniel. He was playing center field. His dad was playing left. A pop-up came that was probably about, 5 or 6, maybe 10 steps to his dad's left. And he was playing left field. Ken Griffey Jr. came over and caught the ball just before his dad could. What's interesting, I guess, is I think he was about 20 at the time. Maybe he was a teenager, but I thought he was 20. And when he caught the ball, when they went into the dugout, after that half inning, his dad actually grounded him and wouldn't let him drive the car. So it's just kind of a funny little family story there. All right. We only have, like I said, we have 4 more. This one might be a little tougher. This was a football player who was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. He didn't really make it. He was kind of full of himself. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you his nickname. His nickname is Johnny Football. His nickname's Johnny Football. Any idea on who he is? Johnny Manziel. You got that right, Nathaniel. Good job. Good job. All right. 3 more, and then we'll be done until Thursday. Anybody have I would think that somebody knows this one. Yeah, one of the biggest draft busts. You're not kidding. Him and Ryan Leaf, some of the worst. I mean, he was even worse because I don't even know that he actually made the team. But anybody know who this is? This is one of the most famous athletes who's ever lived on the planet Earth. People knew him around the globe. He was obviously a boxer. Let's see. Can I give a hint? Yes, Muhammad Ali. You got that right, Nathaniel. Good job. Good job. Oh, and Music Man got it. You both got it. Good job, both of you. All right. Okay, now we have, I don't know if the second guy's current, but I know this guy is. Who is this and what is his nickname? And my hint to you is, I'd like to see Mike Tyson win. I think it would be fun. Nathaniel's asking, who do I have between Jake Paul or Mike Tyson? I would like to see Mike Tyson win the cheetah. You got that right, Nathaniel. It's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's, but I'd like to see Mike Tyson win. And really, the only reason why, oh boy, what did I just do? The only reason why I just lost the screen. Okay, there we go. Is because I grew up watching Mike Tyson. Yes, Music Man, Tyreek Hill, you got that right. Good job. The cheetah, yes. We got a bunch of the cheetahs. Cheetah. I think he goes by Cheetah, right? Not the cheetah, but maybe, I don't know. All right. This guy, I'll give you his nickname. It's such a great nickname that I had to put him in here. I know he's kind of obscure. And let me just get his last name to be sure. His nickname is Booger. Does anybody have a clue whose nickname is? He's obviously a football player. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it'll be fun. The thing about it is, I think Tyson still has a lot left. Nathaniel just said he'd like to see Tyson win too because Paul can only beat up. Yes, Booger McFarland, Anthony Booger McFarland. All right. So there you have it. And Thursday night, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be going over. I might be going over crazy names of players, but then I might also be I know, Nathaniel, you'd want to talk about 2022 Donruss. Music Man, if you're still on the line, is there anything you want to talk about? Oh yeah, don't worry about spelling. We're fine. Anything, I know, Nathaniel, you wanted to talk about like I said, 2022 Donruss, and I actually ordered a pack of cards. I don't think that I have any. I have some football from that year, but I don't have any baseball. So that might be a little tough, but we can talk about it. I'll do some research and we can talk about it. But what I was thinking about doing was like crazy names of players. You want to do football? Okay, so Music Man, you want to talk football? Nathaniel, anything that you want to do outside of the Donruss 2022 Donruss? I love to pack opening days. Yeah, opening days. We could talk about opening days. We can do a lot of that stuff. Okay. You know what? We should do what once a month? Talking about I love talking about opening days once a month, talk about football once a month. Oh, Booger McFarland works for ESPN. Yes, he does. Now that you say that, I do remember that. Oh, or basketball. Okay. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we could talk basketball. We can talk football. You like when I open the packs? Okay, we could. You know what? On Thursday, maybe we'll do two things. Maybe we'll open up. If I had that Donruss pack, we'll open up the Donruss pack, and then we'll talk football. Is football okay, Nathaniel? You think that's cool? I mean, I know Music Man wants that. You guys can maybe talk to your friends, have them watch. We can go from there. So right now, if I get the Donruss pack, Nathaniel, we'll do a pack opening. Maybe I'll buy a couple packs before that if they're still at Target. I was lucky that day and got a bunch. We could talk then football and basketball. Yeah, we can talk football and basketball. That's great. I think the pack, though, is baseball, but it doesn't matter. None of it matters. We'll talk through it. You guys think of different topics. Think of, different players and all that kind of stuff. So until then, I'm probably going to try to start around, I'm thinking 8:15 Eastern. Music Man, are you East Coast, Central? What is your time zone, Music Man? I know that Nathaniel is East. Okay. Music Man, what time zone are you? There must be a delay tonight with the chat and with what I'm talking about. So, I'll just stay on the line a little bit longer. Okay, you're East. So it'll be like 8:15. I'm going to start probably 8:15 Eastern on every night because I think trying to start at 8, Nathaniel, people just weren't there or available. I'm on spring break next Sunday and I'm going on. Okay. That's fine. If try to make Thursday night and then we can come up with some ideas and when you let us know when you're back and what you want to talk about the first time you're back and we'll do that then. And then, we can get you guys even more involved in all this. We can have you open up a pack and I'll give you the code and you can be on air. So, all right. I'll see you guys Thursday. Talk to you. And, Nathaniel, you still owe me an email, right? You never sent that email, right? Because I I didn't see it, and I just want to make sure. So, all right, Thursday and then Sunday. I'll see you guys then. Take care. Have a good week.